We begin with Superman and Martian Manhunter approaching an incoming asteroid headed for Earth. Before sending it away, they analyze the asteroid's composition for unexpected reactions. They send back the results to the Watchtower, where Hawkgirl forwards it through a backup analysis. While the analysis is ongoing, Superman and Gian place the thrusters that are supposed to send it off course, but Hawkgirl discovers hydrogen pockets in the asteroid. She quickly warns them about it, worried they might get caught in an explosion, but it is too late. It turns out that Superman and John are knocked unconscious, having been caught in a massive explosion. Later, a mysterious ship finds them unconscious, so they bring them aboard. They were surprised to discover that one of them was a Kryptonian, which comes from a supposed-to-be extinct race. Realizing how formidable Kryptonians are, the captain is excited about his rare find and claims Superman would be perfect for Warworld. Meanwhile, in a distant world, the people chant the name of the undefeated and the reigning champion of the arena, Draga. Draga claims that he doesn't fight for the people's cheers and insists that he fights only for honor and for the ruler of Warworld, Mongol. After making a grand entrance, Mongol introduces his opponent, Krodar the Terrible, known to be a formidable marksman and heavy hitter. He claims that Krodar prefers to let his weapon do the talking. When they thought he'd be a formidable opponent, he was quickly taken out by Draga when he destroyed a column and had the building collapse directly on top of him. Following the crowd's decision, Draga kills him off when they demand he finish him off. Mongol later calls the captain of his scouting expedition and expresses his frustration over the last contender they brought him. He claims the fight ended so quickly that the audience was quite displeased. The captain explains they have found themselves a formidable fighter from the now extinct Krypton. Later, Superman then breaks free from prison to search for John. He quickly finds him in the pit with the other defeated contenders to be food for wild beasts. When he finds John unconscious, Superman punches the crocodile-like creature against a wall. As he was tending to John, the creature pulled him underwater and tried to swallow him whole, but Superman broke free. John later regains consciousness, but claims he is still weak and suspects that something in the atmosphere must be draining his strength. When they try to escape, guard bots try to stop them, but Superman throws blocks of the wall against them. They later find an opening in the ceiling to which Superman carries John outside, but before they can fly away, they crash against the invisible barrier around the arena. Unfortunately, John makes it outside because of his powers, but Superman remains trapped inside and is later knocked out by the guard bots chasing them. Meanwhile, Green Lantern is furious at Hawkgirl for overlooking an important detail, but she explains that she was only following protocol. Instead of wallowing in her mistakes, she suggests they look for them, which Green Lantern agrees. They later arrive at the scene to find only the damaged Javelin and no sign of them anywhere. Green Lantern is able to find an ion trail and suspects a big ship must have passed through, which they follow. Later, Green Lantern claims that he is losing the trail, which Hawkgirl suspects must be because of the numerous ships passing through the nearby refueling port. They then quickly interrogate the locals, but when Hawkgirl goes overboard and has herself surrounded, Green Lantern steps in and helps her. When the thugs escape, Hawkgirl claims that she is sure they know something, so Green Lantern captures one of them. They then force him to take them to Warworld, where they hear of a Kryptonian appearing at the arena. Later, his retainers inform Mongol of their problems, but he brushes him off, claiming it to be a hassle. The retainer explains that they must solve these issues before they escalate to major consequences. When he worries about a rebellion rising, Mongol reassures him that there won't be one, as long as he keeps giving people fights to look forward to that will take their minds off things. Having learned of Superman's attempt to escape, Mongol claims it's such a waste now that he has to make an example out of him. Finally, the day has come for Draga to meet his strongest contender, the Kryptonian survivor, Superman. As the halls slowly get packed, John sneaks inside the arena, hoping to help Superman escape. He later discovers that the people haven't been working for years and spend all their time watching fights hosted by Mongol. When Mongol announces today's contenders, Superman claims he refuses to fight for anyone's entertainment and proceeds to break his weapon. Despite his objections, Mongol proceeds with the fight and teleports Draga and Superman to the prepared battlefield. Superman tries to convince Draga to stop, but he refuses to listen and attacks him. He then disarms him and melts his weapon, but he still keeps at it. Draga charges at Superman and wrestles him, pinning him to the ground. Superman breaks free, but Draga keeps fighting dirty, throwing sand at him. He then beats up Superman and puts a cape over his head, who then plans to crush him with a block of wall. Superman catches it and overpowers him, to which Mongol is thrilled with how things turned out. When it seemed Superman was the victor, Draga stood back up and knocked the wall against him. Draga then breaks a huge chunk of rock and throws it at Superman. Superman tried catching it, but it was too big to catch. When they thought Draga claimed victory, Superman broke the rock apart and blew Draga from the impact. He then walks up to him and punches him around, proving to everyone that he is the stronger fighter. Draga begs Superman to finish him, but he refuses to play with their demands. Mongol is displeased and orders his attack bots to take out Superman for disobeying his orders. Despite being discriminately attacked by guard bots, Superman tries to pick himself up and even challenges Mongol to give him his best shot. When Mongol is about to order his termination, John cheers Superman's name and encourages the audience to do the same, hoping to stop Mongol from killing him off. Although hesitant, Mongol respects the audience's decision and lets Superman live. That said, Superman is sent back to his cell, where fellow prisoners cheer at him for standing up to Mongol. After what he did, the other prisoners wanted him to live, so they arranged an escape route for Superman. Superman declined their offer, claiming that he won't leave without John. The others worry that Mongol will kill him, but Superman claims he has dealt with worse people than him. When the other prisoners take the defeated Draga to the pit, Superman stops and asks them to take him to the garbage scow instead. Draga later wakes up abandoned on a faraway planet at Superman's request, much to his frustration. He then bends metal into an S and heats it, branding the logo on his chest to immortalize his hatred for Superman. Superman's influence quickly spreads in Warworld as people vandalize his symbol everywhere. Mongol is furious that the people look up to Superman, which his retainer explains must be because they see him as a powerful figure who isn't afraid of anything, not even Mongol himself. Infuriated, he claims it is about time they teach Superman about fear. Mongol confronts Superman and claims he gives people what they want, but Superman objects, claiming that he is focused on giving them cheap entertainment rather than what they need, like food, housing, or medicine. When Superman tries to provoke him, Mongol claims that Draga felt the same until he defeated him into submission. He then showed him his death ray, a highly powered rifle cannon that he used to threaten Draga if he refused to cooperate. He then uses the same threat against Superman and intimidates him into destroying Krypton if he continues to resist. Superman claims Krypton is already destroyed, but Mongol claims he can destroy any random planet, even Draga's. Mongol then proposes to fight him in his last match and insists that he throw the battle if he ever wants to save Draga's planet. Meanwhile, Green Lantern and Hawkgirl are guided by the thug they captured on Warworld. When Hawkgirl complains of being cramped in a small spaceship, their guide claims he needs the Navi computer to find the planet. When Green Lantern and Hawkgirl start arguing, the pilot closes the windshield and gives them their much-needed space. Little did they know that the pilot planned on gassing them, which they quickly passed out. When they finally come around, Hawkgirl and Green Lantern find themselves abandoned on a deserted planet, with no clue where Warworld is, and no way home. Green Lantern claims that although he could use his ring to get them out of the planet, but with no idea where they are, he worries they'd end up stranded once his rings run out of power. When he tries to comfort her, they suddenly see lights from a distance and decide to check it out. They were suddenly attacked by mysterious assailants, which they later interrogated. When they ask them how they can get to Warworld, Draga comes out of nowhere and insists on knowing the way. Hawkgirl quickly notices the scar on Draga's chest and asks him about it, but before he can answer, they have already arrived on Warworld. When wondering how they'd find Superman in a big place, Draga realizes that they are friends with Superman, so he punches Green Lantern. Hawkgirl catches Green Lantern before he falls to the ground, while Draga survives the fall and escapes. Warworld celebrates with yet again another match, but this time, Superman faces Mongol. As soon as they are teleported to the battlefield, Mongol quickly attacks Superman, who has just materialized. When Superman tries to resist him, Mongol reminds him that his actions will decide the fate of a planet. Mongol wonders if he understood him, but Superman explains he is just making their fight convincing and doesn't plan on making it easy for him. Seeing Superman take a beating, Draga sneaks into the arena in disguise, intent on joining their fight. When Mongol finally knocks down Superman, Draga shows up and attacks Mongol from behind, wanting to finish Superman himself. He then tries choking Superman, claiming to want to regain his honor, but Superman breaks free and asks him to step aside. When he refuses to listen, Superman throws him and explains that he needs to stay out of the fight and claims that he has promised Mongol to lose the match in exchange for not destroying his planet. Elsewhere, Joan sneaks inside the enemy base after overhearing Mongol threaten Superman with his weapon. He then transforms into Mongol and orders the men to decommission the weapon. When he is trying to convince them, John suddenly reverts to his original form and is forced to retreat as men shoot at him. When more men show up, Green Lantern and Hawkgirl arrive to help him. John explains that they must destroy the weapon before it fully activates and fires on a planet. Before the cannon can fire, Hawkgirl deflects the attack back at it with her mace, destroying it from within. Green Lantern escapes with Hawkgirl and John, covering them with his powers as the place explodes. Meanwhile, Superman is pushed back by Mongol, who keeps punching him in all directions, unable to fight back. When Mongol is about to finish him off, Green Lantern blocks his attack, to which John then tells Superman that they have destroyed Mongol's weapon. After learning that his planet's safe, Draga punches Mongol and tries to finish him off, but he jumps at him. Instead of interrupting their brawl, the Justice League coaches Draga into beating Mongol by himself. Hearing the people cheer for him, Draga stands back up and knocks down Mongol once and for all. When the people shout to finish him off, Draga refuses, claiming that Mongol doesn't deserve the honor. Draga then offers Superman Mongol's crown, but he refuses and claims that he has more than deserved a chance at a new life. Draga claims that he doesn't want it if it doesn't give him honor, but Superman claims that honor isn't how you die, but how one lives. Superman then walks up to his friends, and they return to Earth, while Draga is left to clean up after Mongol's defeat. Thank you for watching. Check out these other videos, and make sure to subscribe and tap the bell to be notified about our latest videos. See you next time.